Okay, so have you ever had that moment where um you're like really trying to get an AI assistant
Yeah.
to like actually do something with information that's up to date,
Uh-huh.
and it just feels like they're totally
Yeah.
like stuck behind this wall,
I know, exactly.
unable to connect with that data that could make them so useful.
Yeah.
It's like all those like information silos and legacy systems.
Yeah, messy underbelly
Yeah,
of tech.
we're gonna dive into that
It's
today.
really
Yeah,
fascinating.
this is a really, really interesting topic, and I think it's something that a
Yeah.
lot of people are talking about, but maybe don't fully understand all the nuances.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're going to really try to tease out in this deep dive is what's
Yeah,
going on here.
yeah, and to do that,
Yeah.
we're looking at the Model Context Protocol, or MCP,
Right.
and it's almost like the key to understanding how AI can actually break free from
Yeah,
those limitations and interact with the world
exactly.
in a real way.
It's giving them hands.
So let's start with the basics.
Yeah.
What is MCP?
At its core, MCP is a proposed new open standard,
Okay.
and its goal is to create a universal language for AI systems to communicate with all sorts of data sources.
Got it.
So instead of having,
Yeah.
all these one-off connections,
Yeah.
it's a single consistent protocol
Oh.
for everything.
I like that.
Yeah,
So it's like a universal translator
that's a great analogy.
for AI and data.
Exactly.
Okay, so walk me through, like, how does this actually work?
Sure. So in essence, MCP allows for secure two-way communication
Okay,
between your data and AI applications.
got it.
And your data is exposed through what are called MCP servers.
Okay.
And the AI applications act as MCP clients.
So the server's like the holder of the data,
Yes, exactly.
and the client is the AI that wants to use it.
Precisely.
Okay.
And the idea is to create this common ground, this understandable way
Yeah.
for these two to talk to each other.
Okay, so you mentioned servers and clients. How do developers actually get involved in building this out?
Well, Anthropic introduced three key components right out of the gate.
Okay.
So first you have the MCP specification itself,
Okay.
which is kind of like the blueprint.
Got it.
And alongside that, they released software development kits or SDKs.
Okay.
So developers can actually build for this ecosystem.
Got it.
Then second, they introduced local MCP server support
Okay.
built directly into the Claude desktop applications.
Okay.
So that's huge.
Yeah.
That means right out of the box, you have this integration.
Got it.
And then third, they launched a public open source repository
Okay.
full of pre-built MCP servers.
Okay.
So people can just grab those and get started.
So this was all announced back in November of 2024.
That's right.
But something interesting happened
Yeah.
in early 2025.
It just exploded.
Yeah, MCP's popularity just went through the roof.
Right.
So what happened?
I think a couple of things.
Okay.
First, MCP really addressed what many saw as the Achilles heel of these AI agents,
Huh?
which was their ability to connect with those real-world business systems
Yeah.
and all the data that's locked up in them.
Yeah, the real world data.
Yeah. For a while, everyone was focused on how smart the AI models were,
Yeah.
how amazing these large language models are.
Right.
But then they realized that without integration,
Yeah.
even the most brilliant model is kind of useless.
It's like a brain
Right.
without a body.
Exactly.
It can't do anything.
MCP gave them that body.
Right. Okay. And the developer community seems to have really like jumped on board with this.
Absolutely.
Like they saw the potential immediately.
Yeah, and the growth has been amazing.
Yeah.
By February 2025,
Okay.
there were already over 1,000 community-built MCP servers.
Wow. So that's like within just a few months
Just a few months.
of the initial announcement.
Yeah, it shows you how much demand there was for this.
Yeah, and some pretty big companies have started using it too.
Oh yeah, you've got companies like Blocka,
Okay.
Apollo,
Yeah.
Zed,
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of those.
Codium SourceGraph.
Okay.
It's a real mix.
Yeah, it's a really diverse range of companies
Yeah.
using it for all sorts of different things.
And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
It's this network effect.
Right.
The more tools,
Yeah.
the more integrations,
Yeah.
the more valuable it becomes for everyone.
And it's open.
That's key.
So any AI model can use it.
Exactly. It doesn't matter if it's Claude or GPT-4 or even an open source LLM.
Right.
They can all tap into this ecosystem.
Okay. So it's kind of like the USB of AI integrations then.
Exactly.
That's that universal standard that everyone can agree on.
And that's really important for adoption.
Yeah.
You need that kind of buy-in
Yeah.
to really make something ubiquitous.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the why.
Right.
Now let's get into the how does MCP actually work?
Let's get technical.
Yeah. Let's get a little geeky here.
So one of the coolest things about MCP
Okay.
is this idea of dynamic discovery.
Uh,
So imagine an AI agent that can just automatically find and use any available MCP servers
Okay.
without needing specific pre-programmed integrations.
Oh, wow. So it's like plug and play
Exactly.
for AI.
Yeah. So let's say you bring in a new CRM system
Oh, okay.
and you expose it through an MCP server.
Okay.
Any compatible AI agent on your network
Okay.
could just start using it
Wow.
immediately.
So no more like manual configuration?
Nope, it's all automatic.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
Okay. And how do these agents actually interact with these servers?
So there are three main ways.
Okay.
Tools, resources, and prompts.
Okay.
Let's start with tools.
Okay.
These are basically functions provided by the server
Yep.
that the AI can choose to use.
Got it.
It's how the AI actually does things in the outside world.
Okay. So give me an example.
Like in that Cloud for Desktop demo we saw.
Yeah.
The AI could list GitHub issues
Right.
or add tasks to Asana.
Right.
That's all done through tools.
Okay. So if the underlying API can do it, MCP can expose it as a tool.
Pretty much. And the possibilities are pretty much endless.
Yeah. That's really powerful.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's tools. What about resources?
So resources are different.
Okay.
They're like the data assets.
Got it.
Text files, JSON data images,
Mhm.
you name it.
Okay.
But here's the key difference.
Yeah.
The application itself controls those resources,
Uh-huh.
not the AI.
Got it.
So the application decides when and how that data is accessed.
So like in Cloud for desktop, when you attach a file.
That's a resource.
Right. Okay.
And these resources can be static,
Okay.
like an existing document, or
Yeah.
dynamic,
Okay.
where the server generates it on the fly.
And they can even send notifications
Right.
when a resource changes.
Yeah, so the client can stay up to date.
That's really cool. Okay, so we've got tools.
Yep.
We've got resources.
Uh-huh.
What was the third one?
Prompts.
Right. Prompts. Okay.
So prompts are like pre-configured templates
Okay.
for common interactions.
Uh.
A good example is the slash commands you see in Zed.
Oh. Okay.
So you might type something like /summarize PR and an ID number,
Right.
and that gets turned into a more complex prompt
Okay.
that the server understands
Got it.
and then sends that to the AI.
So it's like a shortcut
Exactly.
for common tasks.
It simplifies things for the user.
Okay, so we have these three ways of interacting:
Right.
tools,
Yep.
resources, and prompts.
Right.
And each one has its own like role to play.
It's a nice separation of concerns.
I like that.
Yeah, it's well designed.
Okay, so for someone who is listening to this and thinking, wow, this is cool.
Yeah.
I want to try this out.
Right.
Where do they start?
The good news is it's pretty easy to get started.
Okay.
First, you need to find an MCP server for the tool or data you want.
Okay.
And Anthropic has a whole repository of pre-built servers.
Okay, cool.
So you can find things like Google Drive, Slack, Git databases, even web browsers
Well, okay.
all ready to go.
So it's like an app store for MCP servers.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, and then what?
Then you need to connect your AI application
Okay.
to that server.
Got it.
If you're using Claude Desktop, it's usually pretty straightforward.
Okay.
They have a nice interface for it.
Got it.
But if you're building your own agent,
Yeah.
you'll use the MCP SDK
Okay.
and provide the server's address.
Got it.
And once that connection is made,
Yeah.
the client automatically picks up the new functionalities.
So it just knows what to do.
Yeah, it's all self-contained.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really slick.
Okay, so where would you recommend people start?
If you have Claude Desktop,
Yeah.
try out the integration there.
Okay.
They have some good examples.
Got it.
And Anthropic also has a quick start guide
Okay.
that walks you through using the example servers.
Got it.
The community is also a great resource.
Yeah.
There are tons of MCP servers being shared online.
Okay.
Check out the MCP GitHub repo,
Okay.
and there are community directories too.
So I can find all sorts of pre-built servers. Okay, but what if I want to connect to something that doesn't have a pre-built server?
That's where the SDK comes in.
Okay.
You can build your own custom MCP server.
And is that hard to do?
Actually, it's often easier than you might think.
Okay.
You're basically creating a bridge
Okay.
between the existing API
Yeah.
and the MCP format.
Got it.
And Mahesh Marag, who's a big name in the MCP world,
Okay.
he said that Claude 3.5 Sonnet
Yeah.
is actually really good at helping you build these servers.
Wow.
He even suggested that you could build a basic server in like 45 minutes.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
So it's like having an AI co-pilot for
Exactly.
building your integrations.
And there are other tools too,
Okay.
like the Client IDE, that can auto-generate simple MCP servers
Wow.
for services like GitLab.
So they're really trying to make this as easy as possible.
Yeah, they want people to build and share.
Okay, so we've talked about what MCP is and how it works. But how does it compare to what we were doing before?
Yeah, good question.
Like, what are the advantages over those older methods?
Well, let's think about how we used to do things.
Okay.
We had all these custom API integrations.
Right. Like one for each service.
Exactly. Each one unique.
Yeah.
A real pain to manage.
Yeah, and to maintain.
Right?
Yeah.
So MCP replaces all of that
Okay.
with one single protocol.
So it's like having one key
Yeah,
that fits every lock.
exactly.
Okay, what about plugins?
Yeah, so plugins like the ones OpenAI made,
Yeah.
they were a good idea,
Yeah.
but they were often proprietary
Okay.
and tied to a specific platform.
Yeah. So not very universal.
Right. And their interactions were pretty limited,
Uh,
mostly just question and answer stuff.
Got it.
MCP, on the other hand, is open and universal,
Okay.
and it allows for much richer two-way interactions.
Okay, so more like a real conversation.
Exactly.
Okay, what about those tool use frameworks?
Yeah, like LangChain.
Yeah.
So LangChain was great for giving models access to tools,
Right.
but you still had to implement each tool yourself.
Okay.
MCP provides a standardized implementation.
Okay.
So those MCP servers are like a library of pre-made tools.
So the agent can just pick and choose.
Exactly. And LangChain even has an adapter.
Okay.
So you can use MCP servers as LangChain tools.
Oh, wow. So they work together.
They complement each other perfectly.
Okay. And finally, what about RAG?
Retrieval augmented generation.
Yeah.
So RAG is good for giving the AI context,
Right.
but it's passive.
Okay.
MCP lets the AI actively fetch information
Good.
or act on it.
Okay.
So it's much more dynamic.
So RA is like giving the AI a textbook,
Yeah.
and MCP is giving it a library card.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, so it sounds like MCP is a really important piece of the puzzle
Yeah,
for building truly intelligent AI agents.
it is.
But how does it fit into this whole idea of agentic orchestration?
So MCP itself isn't an agent framework.
Okay.
It doesn't tell the agent what to do.
Got it.
It's more like the plumbing that lets the agent connect with the outside world
Got it.
securely and in a structured way.
So it's not the brain, but it's like the nervous system.
That's a good analogy.
It's how the AI interacts with its environment.
Exactly.
Okay, so how does it work with tools like LangChain?
So LangChain and tools like it,
Yeah.
they're great for deciding when and why to use a tool.
Okay.
MCP is about how to actually execute that tool.
Got it.
So they work together really well.
So it's like LangChain is the strategist
Yeah.
and MCP is the field operative.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. So with all of that in mind,
Yeah.
what new things can we do with MCP?
Oh, man. The possibilities are really exciting.
Yeah.
One big one is multi-step workflows.
Okay.
So imagine an AI that can plan a whole trip for you.
Okay.
It checks your calendar books, flights accommodation, informs everyone,
Wow.
and updates your budget.
And all of that through MCP.
All seamlessly connected.
That would be amazing.
Right. And it's not just about convenience.
Okay.
It's also about efficiency. Imagine businesses being able to automate all sorts of complex processes.
Yeah, that's huge.
Another area is robotics and smart environments.
Okay.
AIs could use MCP to interact with sensors, IoT devices, even operating systems.
So they could actually understand their environment.
Yeah, they could respond to changes in real time.
That would make smart homes actually smart.
Exactly.
Okay. What else?
We could see AI agents collaborating with each other,
Okay.
like forming little societies.
That's wild.
Yeah, you could have specialized agents.
Okay.
One for research, one for planning, one for execution,
Yeah.
all working together through MCP.
So like a team of AI experts.
Exactly.
Working on a project.
And they wouldn't need any direct connections.
Wow.
They just communicate through MCP.
That's incredible.
And then you have personal AI assistants.
Okay.
Imagine an AI that can access all your personal data,
Yeah.
but it's all local,
Okay.
so you don't have to worry about privacy.
Yeah, that's a big concern for people.
Right, but with MCP,
Yeah.
you can have that deep personalization
Okay.
without sacrificing your privacy.
That's really cool.
And for businesses, MCP can make AI governance much easier.
Okay.
They can control how AI accesses internal tools,
Yeah.
monitor all the interactions,
Yeah.
and mitigate any risks.
So it's not just about making AI more powerful.
Yeah.
It's also about making it more responsible.
Exactly.
Okay, so this all sounds pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty groundbreaking.
But it's still early days.
Yeah, we're just scratching the surface.
So what's coming up next for MCP?
There are some big features in the works.
Okay.
One of the most exciting is remote server support.
Okay.
So they're using server-sent events, or SSE,
Okay.
to make remote hosting seamless.
Got it.
And they're also adding OAuth 2.0 support.
Okay.
So integrations can be really secure.
So it's like logging in with Google.
Exactly.
but for AI.
Yeah, the MCP server will handle the whole authentication process.
That's going to make things much easier.
Yeah, much less friction.
Okay.
What else? They're also working on an official MCP registry.
Oh, okay. What's that?
It's basically a central directory
Okay.
for discovering and verifying MCP servers.
Got it.
So you'll be able to find the right servers
Yeah.
and make sure they're trustworthy.
So it's like an app store, but with verification.
Yeah, and they're working with companies like Block to build this.
Okay.
And then they have this idea of well-known endpoints.
Okay.
So imagine going to a website,
Yeah.
and there's a standardized file
Okay.
that tells you if they have an MCP server.
So you can just connect directly.
Yeah, it's like a built-in discovery mechanism.
And this could even work with their computer vision model.
That's right.
So AI could interact with UIs that don't even have APIs.
Yeah, it's really clever.
Wow. Okay, so there's a lot happening.
Yeah, they're moving fast.
And they're listening to the community.
Absolutely.
Okay, so to wrap things up,
Yeah.
what's the big takeaway here?
I think MCP is fundamentally about making AI more capable.
Yeah.
It's about taking it from thinking to doing
Right.
by connecting it with the real world.
And it's doing that in a way that's open
Absolutely.
and accessible.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Okay, so for our listeners who want to learn more,
Right.
where should they go?
Start with Anthropic's announcement.
Okay.
They have great documentation,
Got it.
a quick start guide,
Yeah.
and of course the MCP GitHub repo.
Okay.
That's where all the action is.
Got it.
And if you want a deep dive,
Yeah.
check out Mahesh Murag's workshop.
Okay.
It's really insightful.
And there are articles on Hugging Face, too.
Right. There's a lot out there.
Okay, well, this has been a really fascinating deep dive.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
And it feels like we're on the verge of something truly transformative.
I think so too.
Like, imagine AIs that can just learn and adapt,
Yeah.
discovering new capabilities through MCP.
That's the dream.
It's a whole new world of possibilities.
It really is.
And it all starts with this simple protocol.
It's amazing what a little bit of standardization can do.
It's really incredible.
Yeah. It's going to be fun to see where this goes.
I can't wait to see what people build.
Me too.
This is going to be huge.
Yeah, it's going to change everything.
Thanks for joining me for this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.